I don't like to get in these back and forths because, quite honestly, guys that you usually get into the back and forths with, they become back and forths because it's like one of them like severely tips something this way and the other just like kind of so far down that it kind of pulls you back a little bit. And so, speaking of Austin Rivers, I saw he said he's bewildered and it's ridiculous of what I said. And I just find it interesting that a guy who was the 10th pick in my draft, I was 35, who's on his second act, still on act 1, he goes, Draymond, never been a scorer. Austin, you and I averaged the same amount of points in high school. And I say high school because that's when you were at your best. And then in college, he was still good. He was very featured at Duke because NBA careers, should he really talk about my NBA career? I'm still with my first team. He was gone from his first team in 2 years. The guy received the biggest bailout in U.S. history prior to President Trump bailing out the airlines when his dad gave him $42 million. And I tip my hat to Doc. I pray that I can give DJ $200 million or give Deuce $250 million. I pray that I can do that one day. I love how people just go take the 15 seconds that they want to take and make it a headline. But I really enjoy watching Austin Rivers be bewildered.
Come on, Draymond. This is ridiculous. Seriously. Ridiculous. But you know what? I'm going to address it because you crossed the line and you are mad disrespectful for whatever reason. You've been around too long. We both were drafted in the same class. The fact that you don't have the wherewithal to do your due diligence and actually understand I was being highly complimentary of you on the Dan Patrick Show. But it's you, and I shouldn't be surprised. You always act irrationally, emotionally immature, and your anger always puts you in hot water. So here I am having to address a video of you belittling my career. First off, Draymond, we weren't the same players in high school. I don't care about our numbers being similar. I did it at the national level, the top level. Hence why I got the Naismith Award, and I got pretty much every award you could think of in high school. I was ranked number 1. You were ranked, I don't know. So cut it out. Next. College, you actually were a really good college basketball player, but it's hard to compare because I was only there for 6 months, something you could never do. Talk about I was, one of the featured guys. No, I was the guy. I led my team in scoring. I was first team All-ACC, freshman player of the year, lottery pick. Stop. Next. The NBA, hey, man, you got it, Dre. I mean, listen, I played in the NBA for more than 10 years, more than a decade, but 11 years, but I'm not a Hall of Famer like you. So I'll give you that credit. All right? You got it. But let's peel back that onion and understand why. Easy, Tiger. Okay? You have the delusion, the non-wherewithal, the irony of you saying I'm part of the biggest bailout in NBA history. Draymond, you were the luckiest basketball player I think I've ever seen, especially in modern day history. Let's talk about that. You were drafted to a franchise with the Hall of Fame front office, Bob Myers, Hall of Fame coach, Steve Kerr, the greatest shooter of all time, and perhaps the top 5 player of all time, Steph Curry, Hall of Famer. One of the greatest shooters, top 5 shooter of all time, another Hall of Famer, Klay Thompson. The Swiss Army knife himself, the guy who could do a little bit of everything on the floor, Andre Iguodala, another Hall of Famer. I know, keep up, it's a lot of talent. Not to mention one of the most lethal scorers of all time and arguably a top 10 player of all time, Kevin Durant, the same guy you chased off because of this, your mouth. You talk too much. And that's not even counting the plethora of talent around those guys. The Sean Livingstons, the Barbosas, the Andrew Wiggins, the Jordan Pooles, who you also chased off. Cut it out. Draymond, you're the backpack jump shooter. You're the guy that everyone leaves open. No one guards you. There are hours and hours and hours of film of just you being left wide open. In fact, anybody can just YouTube or Google or watch any Draymond game ever, and he's open all game. There are clips of you getting a rebound and just driving in a straight line and just getting a wide open layup because everyone's fanning out to guard the actual talent on the team. Talking about Steve Kerr hindered your career. Bro, Steve Kerr made your career. How dare you? Coming at me? Are you kidding me? I wish I could give my son $200 million if I was a coach. Yo, the NBA doesn't give coaching jobs to guys who may or may not sucker punch one of the players and staff. You need to fall back, Dre. Let's just be frenemies.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as we got more capital C's thrown in the mix of the basketball world once again. It is crazy because this time around it's going down between teams who not even in the playoffs or players who ain't even active right now. And I had a link in the description where you can watch the clips of the beginning in full at from Draymond Green's podcast when he was breaking some things down on how he felt, what Austin Rivers said, and then also Austin Rivers catching wind of what he said, what you knew it was going to happen. And it exploded all over Twitter. And, man, did they deliver? And I got to keep it all the way 100 right here as this kicked off from Dan Patrick and Austin Rivers giving their opinions on what Draymond Green had said. And, it was that specific part. And it's the word where he said that he hindered. When Draymond Green, the word hindered just sounds bad. It is what it is when it comes to him saying, hey, man, Steve Kerr ain't draw no plays up for me and put things on the offensive side for me on Golden State. And everybody go look at that a certain type of way who look at it like, yeah, Draymond Green got a right to his opinion. He can feel how he want to feel, but that word hinder. And that's when Austin Rivers started saying, nah, bro, I would think he wouldn't say nothing like that. But he did give Draymond Green his credit. But you know Draymond Green, he gonna respond back, and he went directly at Austin Rivers. And anytime you say something about his pops coaching him, getting him that contract when he was over there at Golden State, getting them paid and stuff like that, Austin Rivers gonna feel the need to respond, and he had to get his lick back. And I gotta keep it all the way 1,000 for Austin Rivers. Bro, that's going to be the go-to when it comes to you for other players in the league and things. They going to go directly to that fact right there. If y'all remember even Glenn, Big Baby Davis, when they had their little issues and stuff, he went directly to that. That's just part of this game when it comes to the NBA with you because your pops did coach you. Now, I'm the person, as Draymond Green said, I would love to get my son on the team as well if I was a coach and things of that nature. But Austin Rivers like, nah, bro, you took it somewhere else. I'm finna go directly for you now. And I got to keep it 100. Draymond Green as a player, no doubt about it, on that team, the role that he played was very pivotal, very important. He is for to be a Hall of Famer. But at the same time, when you use that word, hindered my career, but Steve Kerr did that, even if it's only just that one thing and you give credit to the things Steve Kerr did, that word hinder just sounds, it's going to sound wild, bro. It is what it is. But Golden State, that's what Draymond Green got drafted as. He came in, fulfilled his job, played his role. He did hit some key shots at point times throughout the career and things of that nature. The comparisons of him and Robert Horry playing started happening, and people were saying, well, Robert Horry never got plays drawn up for him, but his intent was to score, shoot, and score when he got on the court. But none of the plays and shots that he made that was real big, they wasn't drawn up for him at all. He just got the job done. Draymond Green, he had a specific role on the team and things like that. It's kind of run the offense through him as well at point times. But yeah, it's going to be one of those situations, Draymond, because they going to refer back to the footage and the times you could have took shots. And then when they was both hurt, they going to say, oh, man, you ain't step up when the superstars was hurt and lead nothing. So it's this and that. But at the end of the day, he still got 4 rings. Whatever went down between him and KD, that's that. But Draymond Green, he a little agitator. He going to piss people off. And it is what it is. Hey, at the end of the day, I'm all here for it, bro. It bring the conversation to sports. It bring the entertainment into the conversation. It bring more capital C's into the situation. Controversy, chaos, confusion, conflict, and confrontation to be a part of the conversation and keep the algorithm in rotation. We added crashing out to that situation. I'm here for it, man. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show. Stay on your pivot.